All right, and welcome back. I'm joined today by my brother from another mother, David Greene, RVP Solutions Consultant at Gainsight, the customer success platform, to talk about how his team embodies velocity and action. David, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, Gerard. Happy to be here. I like how you said the customer success platform. I appreciate
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
Let's dive right in. How have you made the solution consultant organization a strategic asset for you, the team, CRO, and most importantly, the broader sales team?
So it's been an intentional focus for us. So we are part of the broader revenue organization. And by revenue organization, we have, the sales component, and then we also have customer success as a piece of that. One of the things that we're hyper focused on as an SC team is making sure that we're doing the right activities that do a couple key things. Number one, help us sell more deals, so increase our close rate. Number two, help us sell those deals at a larger amount. And then I think the third one is doing things that are impactful for renewal rates. And what's great is we actually use Vivint, as you know, to track all of this. And that's where it's been really helpful for us because we're able to see things like double-digit increase in how much we're selling a deal for, double-digit increase in our conversion rate, specifically for POCs. And then, of course, we're able to see a pretty significant impact on when an SC is involved in a renewal as well.
Love that you kind of embody everything you do from Gainsight best practice perspective, right? You understand the value of, expansion, renewal, protecting the customer. And when you think about using SE data to support both sides, how have you used it to remove the bottlenecks to achieve those outcomes, whether it's been for new business support or for expansion, cross-sell, and renewal retention?
Three big things, right? So number one is are we doing the right activities? Second is making sure we're focusing our efforts on the right opportunities. And then third is do we impact product to help us sell more opportunities in the future and support our customers. So when we think about the right activities, one thing we do is we look at our POC win rates, right? So that's an area we can really impact new business. And so we have different product lines, and with that, you have slightly different variations of POCs, and we might even have a different strategy that we're testing within there. So we look at, if we approach a POC one way, what are the outcomes versus if we approach a POC another way, do we get better outcomes? And, we're able to kind of deduct that, hey, if we approach a POC for a specific product this very specific way, we see a dramatic increase in our win rates. So that's the area we should be working with our prospects to kind of get to have proof of value. Then in the second point, if we think about focusing on our best deals, one thing I love about working at Gainsight is just a cross-functional collaboration, working with the sales leadership team, get on every week. They walk through their forecast. I have clear visibility into that forecast. And what I'm guiding that leadership team on is where are the technical gaps that we see? So we track the number of product gaps for an opportunity. We have our own pre-sale staging that we keep track of in Vivint. And then Vivint provides us with a hero score. It's really a score that's looking at engagement, trends over time with deals. And so I have a clear list. We are forecasting these 5 opportunities, and 3 of them have severe technical gaps. And my sales leadership team loves that kind of information because it helps them understand where we can be proactive, but also, are they really looking at their business in the right way from a forecasting perspective? And then the last is our product gaps, which our product team loves because our SCs go in and log every time they see a technical gap in an opportunity, or, they're starting to do it for post-sales as well. And I'm able to give my product team a clear report and dashboard that says, if you were to go build this specific integration, we could impact our business by $1 million, for example. And instead of just listening to the most recent feedback, our product team now goes to a view where they can be very objective and say, well, okay, we should focus on these 3 things because this is what's going to change our business for the better.
Right. Yeah. What results have you seen? I mean, it's tremendous kind of activities and tremendous, lift and kind of acceleration of the process. What's the data tell you?
We had a POC strategy that we had in the past that, we really felt like was the right strategy. We had customer anecdotes where they had said, we wish you would have done this strategy, or we really like the way you did this. And so we really leaned into that. But then when we went back and looked at the data, for my earlier point, we weren't as successful at a macro level doing that strategy. But if you were to ask anyone from our executive team down to, an SC, they probably would have said that's a strong strategy. And so we did change that strategy, and we saw an impact of double-digit increase in our win rates, above 30% increase in win rates, just from analyzing and changing the strategy. And we're also able to measure that it's really not that much more effort for our SC team, which is really important to look at all that together. So that's really how we've impacted kind of new business from a win rate perspective. The second is we're able to also see the deal lift, which for those not familiar, it's a metric I personally love, where we know when a SC is assigned to an opportunity, the dollar amount, and then when an opportunity closes, we measure the percentage increase. And so we're able to do that by activity. So we know that when we do certain activities like create custom demos for our prospects, and when we do a certain strategy in a POC, that we see a 20+% increase in our deal lift. And it's also given us confidence that we're doing the right things and we can kind of inspect what we expect at a macro level.
Yeah, and I would imagine that helps you in conversations you have to have about justifying, defending the headcount, the resources you have. It's probably easier to get yeses to things when you're data driven than you are when you're anecdotally driven.
You know this, it's never easy to get a yes to anything, right? But I will say, we have an incredible executive leadership team. Again, the reason I love working here is I'm able to go to them and make my, case for here's how we're impacting the business and here's how we're actually kind of measuring SC bandwidth. And so traditionally, I think a lot of go-to-market orgs have, ratio view of it. So they'll say if you have 4 reps, you can have 1 SC. Well, one thing that we've done is we track SC's time and the activities they're doing. So we capture utilization rate. We don't want to have SCs be burned out, because what ends up happening is, the opportunities they work, they don't do as well if they're kind of pushed to the brink. And so I know when I need to hire people, I have clear data that says next year's goal is we want to sell 17 more opportunities, right? Well, we can only support 3 more. And I have that data to be able to make a clear case for why we need that and the impact they could have. And then everywhere from finance to my CRO to our CCO, everyone is on board to say, okay, this makes sense, because they know how it's going to impact the business versus just a, hey, here's what the ratio should be conversation.
Yeah, and it's just, you alluded to this before. You're starting to see more of the solution consultant organization in the post-sale side of it. How have you kind of managed that transition to support the expansion, retention, renewal side of the business just as well as you support the new biz side?
Yeah, so there's a reality that if we don't support our customers, we are impacted everywhere in the entire business, and we can't be successful as a company. I think we know that, and it's an easier conversation at Gainsight, right? Given who we are. And so it made all the sense in the world to say SC should be leaning into supporting our customers post-sales. And so big focus is capturing those product gaps across existing customers. Also, we've created a process to where, again, using Vivin, we have a team member request process where we're encouraging CSMs to actually request an SC through this process. I mean, it's been so impactful for our business to go do this. And our SCs know that all the things they want as individuals, such as promotions, more money, all of these fun things, right, that we're talking about every day, none of that happens if we don't support our customers. So they're all in. They were raising their hands to go do this.
Love it. And then speaking of leaning in, what's next? It's early in the year right now. What's next for you and the team as you embark on all things 2025 and beyond?
Yeah, it's leaning more into post-sales. And honestly, and not to be too boring with my answer, but it's taking these things that we've really dialed in, like what we should be looking at, and then optimizing that, right? Like we've seen double-digit improves in our POC rate. That's nowhere near where we want to be. We want to be way better. And so now we have the structure in place to go look at very specific activities and say, what are the things that we should change here? And where do we see differences in product lines? And how can we support our customers better? And continuing to be the post-sales operating system, not just customer success platform, but post-sales operating system.
There's nothing boring about that answer at all. You kidding me? I'm a data nerd. I love making data-driven decisions. So no, I love that and appreciate that. Dave, we talk all day, but really appreciate you spending a little bit of time with us. Much success and luck to you and the team as you embark upon all your journeys. And we'll be in touch soon.
Thanks, Gerard.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.